Alright, well, I was able to meet about 60 or 70% of y'all in the room. So, good morning. How y'all doing? Good. Okay, now wait a minute. Now, y'all just had a day off. I didn't know it. Y'all got a little bit more energy than that, so I'm going to say it one more time. How y'all doing? Okay, so for your sake, I can talk for hours. So for your sake, I'm going to go ahead and make sure my timer is set so I don't keep you too long, and then I'm going to make sure we are good to go with this. As we get started, I want you to go ahead and can you just give a quick round of applause, make some noise for all of your teachers, administrators who are like in here right now and those who are not here, but just, no, I'm serious, like make some noise for them. Awesome. Okay, so here's the deal. This will get set up in a second. Okay, so here's the deal. This morning, what I'm going to be talking about is something called leadership. Everybody say leadership. Leadership. And within that context, I'm specifically going to be talking about what it means to be great. Who in here wants to be great? Like, I'm not saying you know what you're going to be doing, but you want to be great. Okay? Most people know. Okay, we're going to talk about what it means to be great. All right? Now, here's something I want you to understand. The first thing is that leadership, true leadership, you have to understand something about this. Leadership means it's not about you. I want everybody to just say that real quick. Just say, it's not about me. It's not about me. See, we're going to talk about this in the time to come, but one of the things that trips up and what separates the people who, you know, we kind of look at and we go, oh, that person's great, that person's amazing, you know, this person's, you know, and then we look at people who look at, we might go, oh, you know, they're not really doing much or whatever. Like, the thing that separates them is a mindset. And the mindset primarily that separates those that we see as great are people that lived life and it was not about them. So, before we get to started, I like to, you know, I'm going to show some slides and things like that. But I'm also have some people come up and interact with me because I like to interact. So don't get too shy, too quiet on me. But if you wanted to know more specifically, like why did I show up here? Like when Andrea, my friend, asked me out to come out here, why did I say yes, right? And here's the reason why. It's because time is ticking, and you cannot. Because time is ticking and you can't get it back. I want you to think about this for a second. Yesterday, you can never get yesterday back. It's gone. And so I came here this morning to let you know time is ticking. You can't get it back. So what you do from this day forward matters more than you realize. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to talk a little bit about myself. And so before we get going too far, let me just show you a quick little picture, right? So this is think about this as an example of why you should pay attention to the way you're living and acting and the choices you're making. And it's because when you get older, you look back at the time period of how you was living and you're like, I can't believe that's happening. So before we get going, I'm going to show you a picture, or two pictures actually. I'm going to show you two pictures of who I was and what I was like when I was in middle school and high school. So just bear with me. Don't laugh at me, all right? Don't laugh at me, okay? Here it is. Here's a picture of who I was and what I was like in middle school and high school, right? Now, that's over 15 years ago, right? Now, watch. Listen. That's over 15 years ago, right? I tell people that. Sometimes people, you know, I show them pictures like, that was like you now. Like, no. That right there was a young, lost boy, okay? So I was lost there. My mentality, life was all about me. It was about what I wanted to do. You know, when I showed up to school, it was about, you know, it wasn't about schoolwork and doing what I need to do. In school, it was about social life and talking to people and trying to talk to girls and, you know, getting in trouble, getting put out of class. That's what that young man was like. But here's the deal. The reality is, That didn't have to be me. See, that young lost boy right there sometimes found himself in a lot of trouble. Sometimes found himself in some very life and death situations as a kid. Because of these four main things I'm going to hone in on now this morning and talk to you about that I did not appreciate and take advantage of when I was that age. So y'all ready? Alright, good. So here's the deal. One of the greatest choices you can ever make. Everybody, most of y'all here say that you want to be great. One of the greatest choices you can ever make is this. Honor and obey your leaders. Honor and obey your parents. Honor and obey your teachers, administration. Honor and obey your coaches. Now you're like, Mike, what? I'm trying to be great. Like, what does that got to do with me being great? I'm trying to be great. What does that got to do with just me listening to adults and people who are older than me? What does that have to do with being great? Well, let's think about it for a little bit. I told you I need some volunteers. So somebody, come on, quick, come on. Now I'm not superstitious or anything. Don't worry, nothing's gonna happen to you, okay? But I want to give you just kind of a picture of why it's important to honor and obey your leaders. One reason. There's many reasons why, but here's one reason. See, here's the deal about and the thing about those who are your leaders, those who are older than you. It's not that they know everything. It's not that they got it all figured out. It's not that they got the answer to everything. But here's something that they do have. They have the experience of having already gone down the path that you're on right now. They're already going down that path. So your leaders they've already lived the life of an 11 and 12-year-old. You've never lived the life of a 20 or 25 or 30-year-old. So they're going a little bit further down the road. But here's another reason why, right? You say you want to be great, right? Because the leaders that you have in your life, the leaders that you have in your life, right? What they act as is they act as a covering for you. You see, all throughout life, right? This is just how life works, even when you're an adult. All throughout life, there are different choices you're making. There are different thought patterns that you have. There are different things you're debating and trying to figure out in your mind, right? And as you're walking, go ahead and walk. As you're walking, here's the deal. Technically, your leader, especially at this age, all right, you can go ahead and have a seat, thank you. Technically, at this age, your leaders cannot live your life for you. But what they can do is they can be somebody who actually is overseeing and actually having your back. And if you're not careful and you don't take advantage of having people in your life who can watch over you and can help you in the process of the decisions that you're making, you will end up making a lot of foolish choices and finding yourself in a lot of situations that you did not have to do. Here's the reality. Life has challenges and difficulties. Everybody in this room has gone through different challenges and difficulties. Everybody in this room. So there's going to be parts of life that are simply hard. But that doesn't mean you have to make it harder. And here's the third reason why, and then we'll keep moving, and why it's so important to honor and obey your leaders. Again, so somebody raise your hand. Tell me, what do you think when I say honor your leaders? What comes to mind when you hear the word honor your leaders? What do you think? Raise your hand. You just raise your hand. Come on, I like to talk and engage. Don't worry. What you got?
To respect them and obey them.
Right, to respect and obey them, right? So, simply put, right, the word honor means to, one of the words for honor means to greatly esteem or to highly value, or another kind of way of thinking about it is to give your leaders a significant place in your life. So in other words, to give them a place and a voice in your life. Because here's what a lot of times we do in middle school and high school, and when you get to high school, here's a lot of times what we do. We spend most of our time being in tune with the people that are just on our level. But if you want to be great, which means you keep going higher, you've got to connect with those who have gone before you. All right, I need another volunteer. Let me get another. Come on, girl, man. Come on. Like, you know about cars, man? You know about cars? You just, okay. What's your name? Donovan? Okay, I think I'll make sure. Okay, Donovan, here's the deal. Yeah, you. Just a quick question. You gotta be honest, okay, Donovan? We niggas, so you gotta be honest, right? Donovan, don't worry. I'm not gonna see if people laugh right now. Okay, Donovan, here's the deal. I'm not gonna make you do it. Donovan, here's the deal. If I told you, I put these two together and I told you to touch them with your hand, right now, would you be comfortable doing it? No. Right now, like how you right now? Are you comfortable touching it? Okay. Donovan, now you went, that's my next point. Donovan, if this was hooked up to your mom or your dad running car battery, and I said, Donovan, hey man, touch it, like this, you know what I mean, like see if anything happens. Would you be comfortable? Okay. All right, y'all have super. All right, so everybody can agree you wouldn't be comfortable touching it, right? But here's what's funny. Let me get this over. Here's what's funny. If these got hooked up to a battery of a car that was running, the colors of this wouldn't change. The size of it wouldn't change. At least not to the degree you can see it. Like, nothing would look different about it. But there is something different about it once it gets hooked up to the battery. What's different about it is, it's now got electric current running through it. See, in this life, you will not produce what you want. You can only produce what you are connected to. If you want to be great, you got to be connected to people who are great. You can't be connected with people who don't want to be great and then say, you know what, I'm going to live a great life. It doesn't work that way. You want people who have gone down the line before you, who can be honest, and who can help you along the way. Does that make sense? Drag over? All right, good. Let's keep going. I don't know what happened here. All right, let's keep going. I might have to scratch the PowerPoint. Don't worry, I can keep going without it if need be. All right, so here's the second thing you need to understand. To be great, you need vision. Everybody say vision. This is something that most people highly underestimate. You need vision. Here's what I mean by vision. I don't mean what you can see with your physical eyes alone. I mean actually having the ability to tap into your imagination, into your brain, and to see things that don't yet exist. To be able to see things that could be, that are not at the current moment. See, if you don't have vision, that greatly affects you. I've spent the last 10 years specifically working with the next generation students, right? And here's what's a common thing, even to this day, that I get when I talk to students, no matter who they are, no matter how long I've known them, it doesn't matter. Most of them, when I talk to them and ask them, you know, what's their name, things like that, and they'll go, so what do you want to do? Like, what do you want to do in life? If they don't tell me a sport, or they don't tell me something like maybe singing, the other 98% of the answers primarily is this. But see, that's a problem. That's a big problem. Because vision gives you a target. Vision is something that you can, it's like having a target on the wall that you see, right? It's something that you want to happen, that you can see happening, but it's not yet in existence. You haven't hit the target yet, right? But here's the deal. Without vision, you don't have anything to aim at. And if you don't have anything to aim at, then your life starts to feel pointless. And when your life feels pointless, Then you sit there living with a bunch of frustration and just kind of like, what's the point? Well, who cares about grades? Who cares about schoolwork? Who cares about making good choices and decisions? Because you don't have the vision. But when you have a vision, you actually have something to aim for. All right, I need a hooper. Who can hoop? Who can hoop? Like, you can really hoop. Tyree. No. Tyree don't want to come up. All right, one minute right here in the back. Oh, you want to?
Hey, can I go?
Alright. No. Yeah, I'm at sure. Alright, now you can hoop, right? Okay, we're gonna sit. No, look. So I made it easy for you, right? This should be a larger size basketball. I gave you a small basketball, alright? No, here's the deal. I got $1 for you, man. You should make this shot, alright? You should make this shot. Stand right there. Alright, look, now here's the deal. I'm just gonna wait. I ain't gonna move it. Not like that. Take a shot. Alright, I want to show you something that happened. Watch this. I want to show you something that happened. Watch this. Notice something. Hold on. Notice something. Canaro. Listen. Watch this. Stay with me. Bring it back in. Watch this. He had a target. And here's the deal, even though he didn't make or hit the shot, he got somewhat close, right? But here's what I want you to see though. Here's what I want you to see. He had a target, but he hesitated for a long time to even take a shot. And I'm gonna tell you why. It's because it was a fear of failing. He's like, I got everybody watching. I'm standing up here. I got to take this shot. I see the target, but everybody watching me. It's a lot of pressure. Now, if he was in the room by himself, in his house and he had it sitting on the wall, he'll be taking shots freely all the time. It'll be nothing. But now he's got eyes on him, and he's afraid to take the shot. But the point is, because he had a target, even though he didn't make it, he can see how close he came to it. See, vision gives you the ability that even if you don't hit the target, you can learn things along the way. See, one thing he could take from this, he might not, but one thing he could take from this is, you know what? I need to stop being so worried about what people think about me. I need to stop valuing and caring so much about people's opinions about me, about if I go for something, if I have in my mind or something that I see myself doing, and it's not playing basketball, it's not playing football, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not to be an athlete, it's to be, I see myself being an astronaut. If I could stop caring enough about people going, astronaut, you never be no astronaut, boy, get up out of here with that. Like, if I can stop caring so much about what people think, then maybe I can allow myself to dream enough and go, what am I potentially capable of? And instead of letting their laughters keep me from taking a shot, I can at least take the shot. And along the way, I might discover, wait a minute, I don't even actually want to be an astronaut. But you know what? I realized in taking the shot, I enjoy science. So what I'm going to step into, I'm going to step into being a science teacher. Or maybe I'm going to step into being a pharmacist or something like that. That's what I'm saying. That's the importance of having a vision. You've got to be able to allow yourself to dream and to imagine things that are not currently in existence. That is a key component in being great. So here's what I want you to see here. Power of vision, right? I'm gonna move on in a second. There was a time in history where people just took the trash that was thrown out and they just threw it in the earth. They threw it in landfills, right? That's all you see right there. Just a big landfill of trash. And, there's glass there, there's rubber there, there's metal there, all these different other things there, right? But along the way, somebody had an idea. Wait a minute. What if instead of taking all this trash and throwing it inside the earth, what if we took these materials, things like steel and plastic and paper and cardboard, what if we took it and we was able to reuse it? They had a vision. And then before long, we had recycling factories. But before that person came along, there was no such thing, and there might have been concepts and ideas that other people didn't go for, but there was no concept or idea that was in existence of a recycling factory. Now we got recycling bins all over school and all over stores, and people just think it's normal. No, somebody allowed themselves to dream enough and to imagine enough and to go, I don't care if people think that's stupid. I don't care if people go, man, you can't do that. You can't just take material and then recycle it and then put it back in use. No one's going to use that dirty plastic. But then somebody else took it a little further. And they said, wait a minute. What if we could take these materials that people see as dirt and trash, and we start recycling it, and we start making things like cars out of it? That happens now. There are cars that exist now that are primarily designed and built by somebody else's trash. Which is what I want you to hear right now. I don't care what you've thought of yourself up until today. Here's what I want you to understand. Look at me, all of us up here. Look at me. Your life, look at me. You are not trash. You are, listen, you are a treasure. Don't ever allow what somebody else may have said, I don't care who it was, about you. Don't ever allow different circumstances that may have happened to you to convince you that somehow that means you're trash. Because I'm telling you, you're far greater than that. You're far valuable than that.
Oh.
Anybody know who that is? Raise your hands. Anybody know who that is? Who is that? Ray Lewis. Let me tell you something about Ray Lewis. This is the last thing about vision. I'll move to my next 2 points and we'll be done. Let me tell you something about Ray Lewis, right? So, y'all like, people in football like Odell Beckham, right? When I was growing up, I had 2 favorite football players. Mike Vick, who I still wish would come out of retirement and play for the Falcons, and Ray Lewis. Those are my 2 favorite football players when I was your age, right? But there was something specifically about Ray Lewis, like even when I was your age, that like it drew me to him. And the thing that drew me to him was he had a passion. He had a fire about him. Like no matter when they played, it didn't matter if it was in the snow, it didn't matter if it was a Thanksgiving game on a Thursday when his family and everybody else was in town. He had to play. It didn't matter if it was 20 degrees below zero or it was 100 plus degrees in San Diego somewhere. Every single day, this guy showed up to play. He was ready to go. I was like, man, something different about that guy than the rest. And so I would watch him, right? And I used to think that he was that great at football because he just told himself one day, I want to be a great football player. I want to be a great football player. But as I got older, and it wasn't until just a couple of years ago, I found something else. I found the key to his life. He didn't become one of the greatest football players of all time, and arguably, and I think he is, the best linebacker to ever play football. He didn't become that because his vision was to play football. Now, he wanted to play football. That wasn't his main vision. You know what his main vision was? Watch this. His main vision was, he was 9 years old. That's younger than everybody in this room. He was 9 years old. And when he was younger, he witnessed his mom be hit on by a guy. And he made a decision at 9 years old. He asked his mom for a deck of cards because he needed and wanted some motivation to cause him to do push-ups. And watch this. His motivation was not to do push-ups so he could make it to the NFL. He wanted to go to the NFL, but that wasn't his motivation. His vision was not to go to the league, primarily. He had something bigger than that. His vision was not to make a lot of money. His vision was this. I want to get big enough so that no one will ever be able to hurt my mother again. That was his vision. Seeing himself as a big enough human to where he would be able to protect his mother. And it was out of that he made it to the league. That's the power of vision. All right, let's move on. So here's the thing I want you to understand. How many of you raise your hand? You say, you know what, Mike, I do. I have a vision, an idea of what I want to do in life. Like, I have an idea. Awesome. I love it. Okay, watch this. Put your hands down. I want you to hear something. I want to clear up a statement. And I'm going to clear up a couple statements. I want to clear up a statement that it was told to me. It was told to the people behind me, and then they pass it down, and if you're not careful, you'll pass it down. But I want to clear up this statement. The statement is, you can do whatever you want. I want to clear up that statement. That's not true. But here's what I want you to hear. You have the greatest chance of doing whatever it is you want to do if you are willing to do great work. If you are willing to work hard, then you have the greatest chance of becoming and doing whatever you want to do. See, social media age, the age we live in, the digital age where we watch people's lives and they become Insta famous and all this other stuff, that has warped our brain into thinking that when we want to do something, we want to become quote unquote successful, that's supposed to just happen in the blink of an eye. That's not true and that's not accurate. And even if you watch the people who make it quote unquote that quickly, eventually if they don't put these certain structures I'm talking about in their lives, having people in their lives as coaches, people that they can talk to and ask questions to, having a vision for what they want to do to go forward, some other things I'm going to talk about in a second. If they don't put those things in their lives, you will see it every time. Eventually, they go downhill very fast. So don't believe the lie that quick success is the best success. Enjoy the process more than you do the destination. So, if you work hard, you are completely capable and have the best shot at becoming what it is you want to do. But it ain't going to be easy. So here's another thing that I see, right? A lot of times, students spend a lot of my time in classrooms and things like that, and I watch students, right? And a lot of students, they'll show up to class, and you can see on their face, and I start talking to them, pumping them up, getting them ready. Come on now. It's time, third period, let's go. They come in, sit down. I've been here, man. Just mad attitude, all messed up. They come in third period math, first period math. And here's the reason why most of them are upset. Same reason I was upset. Because see, when I was sitting down in my math class, and my teacher started off talking perfect English, and then when she got to talking about different formulas, she started speaking a foreign language. I'm like, I don't know what she's talking about anymore. You know what I do? I throw in pistol, I ain't doing this, man. It's stupid. I started trying to get other people's attention, distracting people. Hey, pass that note to her. I started talking, listen. I told you, I keep it real. I started talking in class, and teacher, Mr. Henderson, stop talking. Mr. Henderson, eventually, Mr. Henderson, step outside the classroom. Like, man, I ain't even do nothing. Come on, bro. Like, she always calling on me. Everybody else around me talking, she calling on me for. Some of y'all like, y'all getting told them. Watch this. This is the problem that I had, though. At that age, I wasn't willing to work hard to get caught up in the areas that I was lacking in. See, some of you in here, just because of just the dynamics of population, I don't know any one of you in here personally, but the dynamics of just life, right? Some of you in here are what you would see yourself as too far behind to understand in your classes, right? And so here's what you do. You just say, I quit, I give up, can't do it. You know why you do that? Because you have been convinced in the wrong area. You've been convinced to ignore the areas that you should start fighting in, and you start fighting in areas where you should be ignoring. So what you should be doing is, instead of sitting in that class and going, I don't understand this, man, I just don't get it. What you should be doing is start taking a mentality, no, I'm about to fight, man. I'm going to understand this. I don't get it right now, but I'm going to raise my hand. Excuse me, miss. I don't understand it. And here's the deal. Your teacher might not be able to, in that moment, even give you the direct help you need, right? She got other students she's working with at the time. She might not be able to get help, right? But you don't give up and go, well, she couldn't help me. She was right on the board, and I asked for help. She said she couldn't help me. No. That's not what you call fighting. Here's what fighting looks like. Then you go home. You talk to your mom. You talk to your dad. You say, Mom, Dad, I'm trying to figure this out. I don't get it. Like, I need help. Can you help me with this? Can you help me understand this? And again, I get it. Life happens. People are busy. So even then, right, your mom might be out, she got to go to work, and she might not even be able to help you in that moment, right? Okay, so then you go, right? Is that the moment you go, man, see, I asked my teacher. I asked my mom. They ain't help me. No. That's not a mentality of a fighter. You know what a fighter does? A fighter and a leader, they keep thinking through ways to solve problems. So you know what they do? You know what you do? You go, wait a minute. I got an older sister. She in high school. Listen, look, all right. I know I came in and I hid your phone, but I'm sorry. I need help. Like, can you help me? Can you help me on math? And look, she might be like, girl, get up out of my face with that. You should have took my phone. See, I'll forget you too then, right? Is that the time to go in your room? I said, is that time to go in your room and be like, see, I tried. Nope. There's still another option. You know one of your best options is? One of the ones sitting right next to you. Listen, one of the ones sitting right next to you. This is what fascinates me about students. Students will spend 30 plus hours talking about the latest thing that happened on the gram or talking about Fortnite, and they won't ask for 30 minutes of help from their friend who has an A in the class. Listen. Think about that. Your friend, your friend, when it's time for the work, your friend be killing it. When you get your quizzes back, your friend always got a 90 or 100. And look, you never think to go, can you help, hey, help me understand this. Now listen, I didn't say ask for them to tell you the answer. That doesn't help you, that cripples you. Stop looking for the easy way out. Listen. You never think, can you help me? Show me how to do this. Listen, I guarantee you, some of the things that you're struggling to get right now, you learn them quick when your peers step in to help you. Ask your friends to help, and if you're a real friend, help your friend. Real friends don't let other friends sing. That ain't no friend. So think about that, all right? All right, we'll move on. I had to spend a little bit more time on it. So here's my guy right here, MJ, right? We all know MJ. I want you to check something out with MJ. Listen. Michael Jordan, to me, is the greatest, to many, but the greatest basketball player to ever play, right? I want you to catch something. Listen. Look, if somebody's talking around you, this is what you do. I'm going to wrap this up like this at the end. If somebody's talking around you, remember, I asked you who wants to be great in the room. So if you raise your hand, whoever's talking around you, that don't even matter. Because you want to be great. So let them talk. You want to be great. So Michael Jordan, right? Greatest basketball player to ever play. Better than LeBron, hands down. But watch this. Michael Jordan, one time, I read a lot of books on people and interviews and stuff like that. I never used to read when I was in middle school and high school. I'm going to tell you this is a throw-in. Reading is one of the best things you can ever do in life. I don't care what it is you do, continue to read. But anyway, Michael Jordan, right? I was reading an interview, kind of an excerpt from him some years ago, right? And he said something that absolutely blew my mind. Because they was talking to him and they was asking him, Michael Jordan, they're like, Jordan, what did you enjoy the most about playing the game of basketball, right? And the answer that he gave was so interesting because you know what he didn't say that I would have expected him to say? He didn't say it was the actual game, right? When there's thousands of people watching and like at the arena, millions of people watching on TV. He didn't say all the money he made. He didn't say all the, boats he was able to buy and the cars he had in his garage. He didn't say that. He said something else that completely struck me. You know what he said his favorite part about basketball was? He said it was practice. And so I had to keep reading. I was like, what practice? Why would he say that? And this is what he said. He said, practice was my favorite part about basketball. He said, you see, because everything you saw me do on the court, I had already done 1,000,000 times by myself in the gym. So when it was game time, when it was time for me to perform in front of lights, camera, action, I was just repeating what I already had worked hard with in the gym by myself. Or with my coach. He had coaches, people that helped him. He didn't get that way by himself. He said that was my best part because that's where I got to work hard and try things and do things and then when the game came, it was easy. And that's why when you see certain people performing, and it's like, man, they make it look so easy. It's not because they woke up and rolled out of bed and like, all right, I got a game today. That's how I go play. That's not what happened. It's so built into them. They've worked so hard that when it's time, this is easy. You gotta have a practice mentality. See, here's the deal. This is a little equation I made up. Discipline, to be great, you need discipline. This is what I mean by working hard, but you need the discipline. The discipline to be quiet when other people are talking. That takes discipline. It's not impossible, it just takes discipline. People are like, man, I got ADD, I got ADHD. Listen. That might be legit, listen. That might be legit, but that's not even, you can't use that as an excuse. You know why? Because if you had ADD or ADHD and that stops you from talking or being distracted, when you were sitting down on the ground, you won't be able to watch those videos for an hour straight without looking up. When you're on Fortnite for 5 hours, you won't be able to do that without getting up randomly and being like, what, man, who's calling me? No. When you pull out that cell phone, you locked in. So don't tell me ADD or ADHD or any other DDD stops you. Don't tell me that stops you. That's not true. You focus on what you value. So, here's the equation. Discipline is simply this. Habits that come from practice. The more you practice working hard, the more you practice saying, man, when I show up to school, I'm going to be ready to go. I'm not coming here to show out. I'm not coming here to be the class clown. I'm not coming in here to, be talking about people and getting on people. I am here to focus and handle my business because I got things to do. That takes discipline. But it's not impossible. So here's the big question I want to address in the room. Here's a big elephant in the room. Again, this is another thing I talk to students about all the time. They be like, I don't even like school, Mr. Henderson. Like, I don't like school. And this is why I have to tell them. This is why I ask. I go, wait a minute. Why do you come to school? And here's the answer they almost give me almost every time. And it's funny, because again, this is the same answer I would have gave somebody. And what's interesting is, that's how tradition works. Sometimes even the things that we don't like, we end up passing it down to people behind us, even though we're like, I didn't even like that answer. So I want you to help me fill in the blank, if you could do this, and then get back quietly, right? So this is essentially how the answer goes. Let me see if you've been told this, of why school. Students, you need to go to school so that you can make good grades. And you need to make good grades so that one day you can go to college. And you need to go to college so that one day you can have a good job. Wait a minute. Hold on. Again, that's not a bad answer. So if you've been told for generations, I want to give you a better definition, though, because first I want to define good job. See, the thing about good job, that's subjective, because what defines a good job for one person is not the same for another person. Even as an adult, I see this all the time. Some people say, "Oh, a good job is when you have a lot of money." Here's the problem with that. Some people see $60,000 like that's plenty of money for me. I can budget. I can live perfectly great with my family on $60,000. Other people are like, I don't need $6,000. I need $600,000. That's a lot of money. Other people are like, $600,000 is no money. I need $6 million. Yeah. That's a lot of money. Watch this. So it's all subjective. But here's the deal. Some people spend so much of their actual health trying to get wealth that when they get the wealth, they can't even enjoy it because now their health is gone. They spend so much time only focusing on working to make a bunch of money, and they've neglected their family, they've neglected their health, they've neglected doing things that they just enjoy doing as hobbies to continue to refresh them, that now they are completely tired and wiped out, and they can't even enjoy the money. So is money really a thing that makes a good job? Some people say, no, it's not money. I just want, I need good benefits, right? So good benefits is where a job, that you work on, there's different things that come, right? It can be the job pays for your health care, you get the company car, they put you up in hotels and pay for it. Like, these are like benefits, right? That you get working for a company or being a part of an organization. But here's the thing about benefits. You can have good benefits. Again, this happens all the time. I'm letting you in on secrets. You can have good benefits and still hate going to your job every single day. Is that a good job?
No.
Maybe, again, you said it. No, I said it. Some people say, no, it's not about the money. It's not about the benefits. I want somewhere where I love to work. I want to love what I do. But here's the problem with that. Nowhere in life, nothing you do in life, I want you to understand this, nothing you do in life are you going to enjoy doing 100% of the time? Nothing. So what do you do with that? Man, it's miserable. I don't like. I thought I loved this. Now I stepped into it. There's challenges. There's things I got to deal with. There's hard things. There's hard people to work with. There's things I don't have the answer to. I got to work and apply and stay up late at night to kind of find solutions. Now this is hard. This is difficult. But here's a better answer I want to give you for why school. And then I'm gonna close with the last thing. Here's the better answer. This time period of your life, school is where you show up to find out what you got and get the tools you need to continue moving forward effectively. See, I don't care what you do. You've heard this many times. I don't care what you do in life. If you don't know how to count, you're going to have problems. And it's not funny. People can literally steal from you and take from you because you don't know how to look accurately at an account. Because when you give somebody money or when you make a transfer, you can't in your mind, you might not have your cell phone on you can't in your mind just simply do basic counting to figure out what someone's giving you back. Is that even fair? Like, is that worth my time to work this many hours and get this type of pay? People can take advantage of you for your whole life. You don't know how to count. So the thing about math is, this is where I show up because I need to learn how to handle my business no matter what I do. Writing English, you need that. Because no matter what you end up doing in life, if you're going to be successful, according to whatever your term of successful is, you're going to have to learn how to talk. You have to learn how to write. Even if you're not, we're getting away from the traditional write, but when you're doing this is called writing. If you can't send an effective email, I don't care if you want to be the biggest streamer in the world. If you can't type an effective email or an effective promo or an effective offer to somebody, no one is going to want your service. They're going to say, no, thank you. So it's one of two things going to happen. You're just going to miss out, or you got to find somebody to do it for you. So think about English, ELA, right? Man, this is where I'm coming. I got to learn how to communicate. I got to learn how to talk. Even if I ain't standing on no stage or standing in front of a bunch of people, I got to learn how to present myself. I got to learn how to look people in the eye and shake. That's why I go around, I look people in the eye, I shake their hands. That's just effective communication. I got to learn this. All right? So here's what I'm going to close with. Here's what the greatest people in life did. They did this one thing. Every single person, I don't care who it is, the greatest people in life did this. They did not go for money. They did not go for cars. They did not go for houses. Now, that might have been a part of the plan. They might have had that on the bucket list. That's not what they went for. This is what they went to do. This is what they did with their life. They simply served. Everybody say serve.
Serve.
Now watch this. You might be like, serve? Serving don't make you great. Yes, it do. Do you know why? We all, and I wish it was 12 o'clock when I left here right now so that I could go and grab me some. Do you know why many of us love American Deli so much? Because at the end of the day, there are not too many restaurants who can make lemon pepper sprinkled hot wings like American Deli. They know how to serve hot wings. You understand what I'm saying? They serve that. People are like, I'm going to American Deli because they know how to serve them wings. Watch this, watch this. Serving, I don't want to serve. Do you know what athletes are doing? When they're on the field, when they're on the court? They're serving you. Why? Because I done paid $100. I done asked my mom for, or I done saved up money from grandma, from grandpa. I'm going to this game. I'm going to get a good seat. You know, your parents like, I done spent $200. LeBron James better be at this game because the boy done bugged me all year about this. Now I done spent $200. Now I need to see this athlete get on the court and do some fascinating things with their athletic abilities. Do you know what they're doing? They are serving. Athletes, listen, you don't even understand. That's why I say great work. You got to do great work. Athletes don't get to just show up on the game and play. That's not what they do. Listen, athletes, when they get done playing in front of thousands of people and really taking millions and billions of people, after the game, many of them got to spend hours just getting massaged after the game, just going into the hot tub and into the cold baths to get themselves ready for the next game. They got to wake up early in the morning. They just played the game at 10 o'clock at night. They got to go to sleep and wake up at 4 a.m. to catch a flight to the next city. That's work. They're not just rolling out of bed. They got to get up. Hey, let's go. I'm like, man, I ain't getting no sleep. No, man, we got to go to the next city, man. We got people to serve. There's people that paying a lot of money to buy these tickets. We're going to this game. They got to serve their gifts. It's about serving. And it's also about this. Finding solutions to problems. Everybody say finding solutions.
Finding solutions.
You don't believe me? Watch this. I don't have my, oh, I do. So this is not iPhone. Let's pretend it's iPhone. I'm going to tell you what separated. Again, I tell you, I do a lot of reading, a lot of research, and this thing right here blew my mind when I read this. You know what separated or when the iPhone really took off? I'm going to tell you. This is when the iPhone took off. The iPhone did not take off because it was the first phone with a screen like this. It's not why it took off. There were other phones who had screens already. The iPhone didn't take off because people like an Apple. I mean, that's cool, but like that's not why. You know why the iPhone took off? Because there was a guy by the name of Steve Jobs. He had an imagination. And he saw a problem. Here's a problem he's seen. See, y'all don't have to deal with this problem. But here's the problem that was back then. See, back when we was growing up, you know, we had CD players. Before that, we also had tape players. And I'm not going to get into all that. But by the time Steve Jobs came along with the iPhone and all that was going on, there was this thing called, they had iPods and they had the other kind of devices that you could use to download music onto the device, right? But here's the problem. A lot of people by that point, like we had cell phones. Like high school, I had a cell phone, right? So here's what was happening. A person would have in their pockets, you know, they got their wallet, you know, they got their house key, they got their headphones to their iPod, they got their phone in their pocket, then they got their charger for the, you know, whatever the music device is in their pocket, and the charger for their phone. I mean, it's all type of crazy. You talking about searching for a pencil, you couldn't find nothing in my pockets. I was like pulling out everything. I could never get to what I was looking for. But this guy named Steve Jobs, he said, wait a minute. What if we could take the music device, like people love their music. What if we can take the music device and that cell phone that people also enjoy being on, and what if we could combine it? And when he did that, Apple took off. I'll tell you another one just so you understand that you in this room, that's why I say don't let anybody tell you that you're trash. You are a treasure. I'm going to tell you about another man who everybody in here should know who this is. This is a guy by the name of George Washington Carver. Let me tell you a story real quick about George Washington Carver. George Washington Carver lived in the South, and he was living in a time that was a little bit past slavery. And in that time, cotton was the biggest product in the South. This is where people made big money in the South. Now here's George Washington Carver, just little old George Washington Carver. I'm in the South, and it's post-slavery. My life, I can't really do nothing with my life. I mean, look at my circumstance. Look at my situation. Look at the cards I was dealt. That's not what he said. George Washington Carver allowed himself to dream. So what happened was cotton in this time period, it got destroyed by this little annoying little insect called the boll weevil. And the boll weevil, what it would do, it got into the cotton, it was basically eating the cotton and tearing up the cotton. And so that was hurting the economy of the South, which means it was impacting the whole economy of the United States. But here's what little old George Washington Carver did. One day he said, I want to learn about the peanut. Look, something as simple as a peanut, something that most people would take and just walk right on, oh, peanut, can't do nothing with that. Or people would look, oh, peanut, cool, let's eat it, it's cool, it's good. Or, you know, people take and they're like, oh, peanut, it's cool, man, and toss a little bit. This guy, George Washington Carver, said, wait a minute, what if I started like trying to figure out what this thing was capable of? And George Washington Carver, you know the story. Because of him, we now know of over 300 uses of something as simple as a peanut. Because a guy who's living in his time saw a problem and decided not to just sit and go, I can't do nothing about this. That's just little old me. And I'm just living in the South, and life is hard, and life is tough, and this is just the hands I was dealt, and I just got to kind of deal with it. No. He had a vision. He said, I think I can start to at least figure out what this thing's capable of. And then he had hard work. He spent his time researching and paying attention and trying things and doing all type of experiments and failing. He wasn't afraid to fail. He worked hard. And then I'm sure he had people that he talked to and with other, because he was a great mind. He was a scientist, so he had other scientists that he was talking to and having them help them, right? He had people that was kind of, again, there that could kind of help and cover them and kind of help guide them and things like that, right? And then we look and go, oh man, this guy was so great. You know what George Washington did? He found a problem and he looked for a solution. And then he served what he found out. He took his ability to think, to research, to plan, to come up with ideas. He took that and he served it. And he ended up impacting the whole globe. Because of one simple little old guy living in his time period and saw a solution. So here's what I want you to understand. You have been put here for a purpose. You can make a difference and an impact on this planet. You can. But you have to understand something. You have to understand this. The moment you start taking this seriously, the moment you start saying, you know what, I'm gonna stop goofing off so much. You know what, I'm gonna start carrying myself more accordingly. You know what, I'm gonna stop just thinking everything's a game. I'm gonna stop taking my life and just, it's just me. I can't do nothing. I can't really deal with myself. Like, you don't understand. Like, I'm gonna stop doing that. I'm going, no. Like I gotta allow myself to at least think. What could I be capable of? I gotta allow myself to at least connect with people. At least talk to people who are older than me. Ask them about their experiences. Ask them about things that they've gone through. I gotta at least allow myself to. I gotta at least try. Listen. The moment you do that, that's why I love this environment right now. The moment you do that, I want you to understand 3 things gonna happen. Distractions are gonna come more. Disappointments are gonna come more. And discouragement are gonna come more. But I want to encourage you, when those 3 things come, to be like my man Jackie Robinson. It's 1957 World Series. The biggest game on the scene. Baseball is far bigger than basketball, it's far bigger than football. This young guy by the name of Jackie Robinson is coming up to the plate. He's got this older guy who's the catcher by the name of Yogi Berra. Now, both of them were great players, but Yogi was a little bit older. Hank Aaron is up there. It's lights, camera, action. Everybody taking their picture. All the pressure's on Hank Aaron. What's going to happen in this moment? This is the World Series, a big moment. He gets up to the plate. All of a sudden, he hears talking behind him. It's Yogi's chatter. Hank, don't hold the bat like that, Hank. Hank, you got to turn the bat where you can read the labels. Hank, if you hold it like that, when you swing, when you hit it, Hank, I'm telling you, you're going to hit it and you're going to crack the bat. Hank, there's going to be a pop fly. You're going to get out. This is the World Series, man. You don't want to mess this up. The whole time, Hank Aaron didn't say a word. He kept his focus on the pitcher. Eventually, the pitch came down. Hank swung, made contact, knocked it out of the park. He circled around the bases, came across home plate, looked back at Yogi, and said, Yogi, I came up here to hit a ball. I didn't come up here to read. And here's what I want you to hear as we leave, as you depart from this time period, from this space. Here's what I want you to hear. You've been told, again, another somewhat of a little bit of a incomplete truth. You've been told that you're the future. How many of you heard that before? You're the future, guys. All right, put your hands down. I want you to hear something. You're not the future. Look at me. You're not the future. Look at me. Pay attention. You're not the future. You know why I say that? Because your life is happening right now. And if you keep thinking your life is in the future, here's what you're going to keep doing. You're going to keep putting off things that you should be doing right now off into the future. Why? Because, well, I'm the future. So it really doesn't matter what I do right now. No. That's a lie. You're the right now. If you don't watch your decisions right now, the choices you make now are what are shaping your future. So, lead. Lead now. Make a difference now. Be the change in the school and among your peers now. Don't wait till the future. Thank y'all.